Flag is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand that. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us.
Umbrella, she's up. Whole nother level of shit you can't even understand.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another episode of The Forecast. Now, at this point, there is no reason or excuse for us to still be surprised by the dominant society. Time and time again, they show themselves to be hypocrites. And how many times do they have to show their true colors for you to believe it? They love to say they don't see color and we're the ones keeping racism alive. And they try to find every excuse to call us racist. And they love to play dumb about it. But they understand racism better than we do. They're the ones that created race. It's just that too many of us want it to be true and hope they don't see color. And yes, race is a social construct, but it's been constructed. And enough people believe in it and enforce it that we don't have any other choice but to get on code. And after hundreds of years, we still shouldn't be arguing over tribal divisions. Back in 1906 in Atlanta, after the Reconstruction era and during Jim Crow, the black community was starting to get money and develop an economic base. Because back then, they didn't have the illusion of inclusion. They understood they had to support each other and they had no other choices. White businesses didn't even want their money, so they had to spend it with each other. And in return for supporting each other, they were starting to make each other millionaires. Now, the white residents not only resented having to compete for jobs with black people, they started to feel threatened and feared that black success would destroy the system of white supremacy. And as the black middle class started growing, they started to say the crime rate was going up. But that's only because they were committing more crimes against us. Hoke Smith, who would eventually be elected as governor, ran his campaign completely on white supremacy. He said taking away the black vote was necessary to keep Negroes in their place. So after the local newspapers over time ran 4 different stories of white women being raped by black men on 4 different occasions, none of which was actually substantiated, but that night a lynch mob of close to 10,000 started gathering downtown. Within the first hour, they had killed 3 black people, and they hospitalized even more, including at least 3 women, and at least 5 of the people that was hospitalized ended up dying. By midnight, the mob was marching down Decatur Street, down Pryor Street, and Central Avenue. In the black business district, the mob started destroying every black business, every black home they came to, but they skipped over every white business and home. Then the mob started assaulting every black person they came across, men, women, and children. They were pulling them off streetcars or just catching them walking down the street. And then they would beat, stab, shoot, or lynch them. By 2:30 in the morning, at least 25 to 30 black people had been killed and many more injured. They killed one brother on the steps of the U.S. Post Office. Now the black community started to realize they weren't going to get any help from the government or the police. Some of the police was in on the riot. And to be honest with you, by 1906, we should have never expected any help. And even though they've always had laws that made it hard for us to get guns, the black community still started arming themselves. So the second night, the mob started their terrorist attack again. But this time they tried to go into a neighborhood called Darktown. But the black men in this neighborhood were armed. And they surrounded the neighborhood and made sure the KKK couldn't get in. And black men were carrying their guns and signs that said Riot wanted. And they shot back at the mob and they eventually ran away. Now, by the end, the New York Times reported there were at least 30 black men, women, and children that were killed. But the real number of black people that died could be over 100. Then the day after the riot, the black residents met to discuss what should be their next action. But the Fulton County Police heard about the meeting and tried to raid it, which ended up leading to a shootout. But this time they did call in a militia. and they arrested everybody and disarmed over 250 people. When people asked the mayor, James Woodard, what measures did he take to prevent the race war in the first place, he said as long as black brutes continue to assault white women, they will continue to be unceremoniously dealt with. A few days after the riots, white leaders, including that mayor, called for a meeting with black leaders. Now, they told the black leaders they'll stop the violence if black people start complying with segregation laws, and they could no longer open black businesses downtown. The black leaders also agreed to limit black voting in exchange for their safety. Now, no one was ever charged or punished for all these men, women, and children being killed. And today, when a regular citizen, who was called the special police back in 1906, but when the average white citizen harm us, they still hesitate to punish them. In Oklahoma, a brother, Jerric Carolina, who also goes by Shawn, was attacked and brutally assaulted by 2 white boys. Now, let's go back and see what happened to this brother, Jerric Carolina.
Shawn Carolina was just out having a drink with a family friend when everything went wrong, and it was all caught on video. The video alone is tough to watch, and what the alleged attackers were yelling at Shawn makes it even worse.
I honestly thought I was going to lose him. I wasn't sure really that it was the whole racial slurs and everything until later that day at the hospital when the video surfaced.
Here's the video Shawn's wife Jamie is talking about that a witness shot Saturday morning. Jamie says that's her husband and his friend being attacked by 2 men. As the men finally leave, you can hear one of them yell, "You're dead," followed by a racial slur.
After they knocked him out, well, I continued to beat him. I mean, they just pounded on him like he was nothing. It made me angry, of course, you know.
Shawn, a father of 2, was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and he's still in the hospital today, all over a fight between him and a guy that Jamie says was acting very different inside the bar.
The guy who did most of the pounding on him, he was buying my husband drinks and hugging him and acting like they were just the best of friends.
Jamie also says she does believe the attack was racially motivated.
I just want people to pay attention and quit thinking that color even matters. We're all made by the same person. We was all made to love each other.
Jamie says it's even more heartbreaking because her husband is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
He's amazing. He goes above and beyond for family. It means everything to him.
Now, this brother was at a bar called the Brickhouse Saloon. He was there with one of his friends when he got into an argument with 2 white boys because they called him a nigger. Now, these 2 white boys, Brandon Killian and Devan Johnson, instead of handling things like men, they pretended to squash it and act like they was friends, and they even started buying him drinks. They were in the bar hugging on him and acting like his friend. And then as soon as he was leaving the bar around 2 in the morning, these 2 white boys went outside with him and followed him. And then they blindsided and sucker punched this brother. They were brutally beating him while calling him nigger and saying you're gonna die. They were punching him, spitting on him. And after they finished attacking him, these 2 white boys gave each other a high five and drove off while they were screaming white power. They left his brother on the ground unconscious with lacerations and swelling all over his head and blood everywhere, just laying lifeless on the concrete. This brother, Jerric Carolina, had to be rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and he had to be put on a ventilator. Now, his friend Monty Whittet, who is a white boy, did get beat up a little bit, but he wasn't hurt, and he didn't have to get any medical treatment. Now, these 2 white boys, Brandon Killian and Devan Johnson, did pull off, but they were eventually pulled over and they were arrested.
And tonight, it's this video right here that landed 2 men in jail accused of violently beating a man outside a Shawnee bar early Saturday morning. Now, originally, multiple sources told us the beating occurred at the Bricktown Brewery. That's not the case. It actually happened outside of the Brickhouse Saloon. News 4's Chase Horn was first to show you this video, and he has more on the story tonight.
Yeah, I mean, $25,000 isn't high at all considering the amount that you'll have to pay to get out. And, I mean, the judge was really, nice about it. Saying that he could make it 50.
A district court judge threatened to raise the bond for this man, 28-year-old Brandon Killian, after he asked why it was set so high. Killian and 24-year-old Devan Johnson are accused of aggravated assault and battery after this attack caught on video. Shawn's cousin Denisha Moon says she was with him at Brickhouse Saloon the night it happened.
We were having fun and everything, and then when we got back, I just ran and got his wife. That was the first thing I thought about. Because he wasn't moving.
You can see the suspects leaving after the attack. Police say they were able to locate them shortly after arriving on scene.
They took off and officers conducted a traffic stop on the white Ford, and they were brought down for interviewing, and a detective came out and interviewed them, and they were arrested for aggravated assault and battery. According to the police report, during the interview, officers say Killian began to punch himself in the face to redden his face for the photographs. He is still in the Potawatomi County Jail, while Johnson was bailed out over the weekend. For Denisha, it's still hard to fight back tears when she thinks about seeing her cousin laying lifeless on the ground.
When you see the strongest person you know fall, it really hits you hard.
Officers say the situation is still under investigation. They're also investigating the possibility of this being a hate crime because you can hear the suspects yell racial slurs during that beating.
Now, even though these two white boys were arrested, they haven't even officially charged them yet. They were both questioned by police, and when the white boy Brandon Killian was left alone, he started punching himself in the face to turn red on his booking photo. So that way he can try to say self-defense and play the I fear for my life card. Now, even though everything about this is clearly racist, the police are still saying they don't know if it was a hate crime or not. They still have to investigate because the police aren't so quick to punish white supremacy practice against us.
I wasn't sure exactly if he was even alive.
A man is hospitalized tonight and placed on a ventilator after a vicious beating. It happened this past weekend in the parking lot of a Shawnee bar.
Police arrested 2 people and are now looking into whether that attack is a hate crime. Sylvia Corkill joined us from the OU Medical Center where the victim is recovering. Sylvia?
Kelly, Amanda, family members tell me Jerric Carolina is improving. While he still remains in ICU, doctors have removed him from his ventilator. And today, for the first time since the attack, he spoke.
He actually told me he loved me. He told me he wanted a kiss and that he was sorry. And I had to explain to him, it's not your fault.
2 nights ago, Jerric, known as Shawn Carolina, was rushed to the hospital following what's seen unfolding in this video.
The EMT told me he's suffering life-threatening injuries, and my heart just sank right then.
Carolina's wife, Jamie, says her husband was leaving the Brickhouse Saloon when he and his friend were confronted by 2 men in the parking lot.
He had called my husband an N-word, and then that's what fueled my husband.
Jamie says earlier in the night, the men argued but seemed to have made peace.
The guy started buying him drinks, was hugging him. You know, they was buddies.
But once outside, the 2 men shed their shirts, and one of them is seen throwing the first punch. The shirtless men then unleashed their fury. Jerric is punched, stomped, and spit on. One of them heard screaming, "You're dead," followed by a racial slur.
To see somebody you love so much just get brutally beaten for no reason because of the color of their skin, it's just beside me.
The men then seemed to congratulate each other before driving away. Jamie was at home asleep when family alerted her.
Wakes me up and just tells me, get up, Shawn's laying on the ground lifeless.
Police later arrested Devan Johnson and Brandon Killian. Now, once in custody, prior to being photographed for his injuries, police tell me Killian is seen punching himself several times in his face in order to redden it. He had no idea he was being recorded.
Now, the police are saying they're unsure if it's a hate crime, even though the whole thing started because these 2 white boys call him a nigger. But the police say they aren't sure and still have to investigate. Even though they're on video beating his brother up while calling him a nigger and saying white power as they drive off. Then the judge, being lenient, gave him a low bail of $25,000. The white boy Brandon Killian still complained, talking about it was too high. And the judge, calling himself tough, said, if you keep talking, I'll make it $50,000. But he didn't. He left it at $25,000. And the white boy Devan Johnson is already out on the streets on bail. Now we have to keep learning the same lesson over and over and over again the hard way. We trust them when they don't even want to be trusted. We forgive them when they don't even want to be forgiven. We still try to assimilate into their culture. But at the end of the day, we are all we got. And until we realize that, then the same thing is going to keep happening.
What? Don't fight him. fighting. Just get in the car, okay?
This morning, newly released police body camera video of a confrontation in Freeport, Illinois. The incident making waves online.
Okay, they no longer arrest. I didn't try to steal anything. Okay.
Officials making that footage public more than a week after 24-year-old Shaquille Dukes, seen here in his hospital gown, still hooked to an IV, posted the video of the altercation on Facebook. Duke says he was being treated at a nearby hospital for pneumonia and was taking a walk around the facility when he claims he was racially profiled by a white hospital security guard who then called police, saying he felt extremely threatened.
He's stealing hospital property, basically, by leaving. I don't care if he was coming back. That's stealing. And then they all three got in the face.
Did he have permission to leave the hospital with that equipment? He wasn't my patient. Does he have permission?
I said, I explained to you that Dr. Murphy and Jennifer was aware that I came outside. If you will call and verify with them, well, I don't care what they told you. As far as I'm concerned, this is hospital equipment and you're attempting to steal it.
Duke's boyfriend recording the cell phone video as the exchange gets heated. Police responding, finding the group on public property. The situation escalating.
It's hospital property.
Yeah, but there's no threat. There's no threat. Stop talking.
The way you're acting.
As they began to take me to the car, I told him, I said, I never left hospital property. And that's when he turned and said, well, you're off hospital property now.
Why'd you kicking him? Don't kick him.
Duke's brother put in handcuffs first, then Dukes himself arrested, charged with disorderly conduct.
From a law enforcement standpoint, arresting a person is not always the solution. You want to at least investigate to make sure that you have all of the information.
The department standing by the conduct of its officers. Freeport police saying in a statement, our investigation revealed that at no time did any doctor or nurse give that patient or any patient permission to leave the hospital while still hooked to an IV machine.
It was determined that he was likely not trying to steal any of the property. So, but the charges were supported for disorderly conduct with their actions toward the security guard. I think that our officers handled it the best way they could and given the situations that they had in front of them.
The hospital telling ABC News patient privacy laws do not allow us to comment on what is now a police matter.
Interference. Now, close the door and get back inside.
This is not interference, sir.
I don't have a gun, bro.
I know, brother.
I can't breathe, bro.
I know.
Intersect 109 is outside. They're interfering. I can't breathe.
Show me your hands. You got it?
I got some.
My hands are right here too, brother. I know.
Stay on the ground. I'm on the ground. Get back on the ground. Bro.
This man is on the ground.
I can't breathe, bro.
I know. This is all we can do right now.
I can't breathe, bro.
Sir, why is this man being arrested?
He's a wanted felon and he's trying to escape our custody.
Felon of what?
None of your fucking business. Shut this fucking door. Leave me alone.
I'm not shutting this door. No, sir.
Come
I'm
on,
not.
No, I can't breathe, bro.
No, Justin, I'm not getting shot.
Don't move. Hey, call my mama for me, bro.
I can't right now.
Sir,
this is all I can do.
House.
No, sir. My door is. I'm inside my house.
Sir, if you don't go back inside the house tonight, right now, you're gonna get tased. Or
I'm
come
inside
outside and
the
show me
house.
your hands.
Please. My hands are right here. You see my hands?
What? Please, go inside.
No. Sir, officer, do you see my hands?
Go back inside now.
Listen, man. Listen to what he's saying, please.
Go back inside. Chris, you got him? Chris, get him. I can't breathe. Get him.
My hands are right here, sir.
Step back.
Please,
I'm inside
back
my
inside.
house.
Close the door.
Chris, please shut the door.
Close
Chris.
the door.
Shut the door, man.
I'm going to arrest you for interfering with our
Chris,
my hands are right here.
I can't breathe, sir.
You can't do this. This is illegal.
Chris, you gonna get killed.
Illegal.
This is illegal. You gonna get killed, bro.
This is illegal. This is not okay.
You gonna do it? You want me to do it? Hi. You know what? I do apologize. I know you've come from a very long way, but we're gonna use someone else.
She's upset with the flag.
No, I'm beyond upset with the flag. No, you don't need to take it down. You continue to believe what you need to believe, sir. But no, I cannot pay you for your services. Thank you. Have a good day. Come on.
She's upset with the flag.
No, I'm beyond upset with the flag. No, you don't need to take it down. You continue to believe what you need to believe, sir. But no, I cannot pay you for your services.
Fired over a Confederate flag, a contractor had no choice but to leave because the woman who hired him didn't like seeing the Confederate flag on his SUV. She talked to CBS 46's Trayson Bragg about that controversy.
You go there? You want me to? Hi. Hi, how you doing? You know what? I do apologize. I know you come from a very long way, but we're going to use someone else.
It's the firing everyone's watching on social media.
She's upset with the flag.
No, I'm beyond upset with the flag. No, you don't need to take it down. You continue to believe what you need to believe, sir, but no, I cannot pay you for your services.
Allison and Zeke Brown tell me they found this contractor on Facebook Marketplace. Well, Saturday he showed up with a big surprise hanging from the back of his truck.
It was a huge flag, to say the least.
A huge Confederate flag, that is.
I felt violated.
The family tells me they wanted to respond to that violation in the right way.
As a black woman, there is this negative connotation with the angry black woman. I can be stern and calm and get my point across.
Let's just say that point was clear.
I can't change my color. He can't change the fact that he brought that flag to my house, but I can and will control where my dollar goes. And my dollar will not go to anyone who represents such hate.
A few minutes after leaving, the contractor messaged the family explaining he was unaware the Browns had a problem with the Confederate flag. Zeke Brown tells me that was an opportunity for a teachable moment, so he replied.
That flag makes African Americans, people of color, very uncomfortable. It was not a good time in history for us.
Brown tells me the contractor never replied to that message. I also messaged the contractor to give him a chance to share his side of the story, but he never responded.
Now you're getting your sound being recorded.
Great.
I remember.
Please call your friend on the call box and have them come down.
They don't have to do that. You could just walk away.
I'm gonna call the police right now.
Oh yes. Call the police. Remember that. I remember this exactly happening when I used to live in my own condo, and then people used to call the police all the time.
Sir, I'll hold the door here for you while
That
you
is
call your
okay.
friend.
Nobody's asking you to hold the door. You can do whatever you want. But I'm recording you right now, and you're going to be the next person. Look at this.
You don't need to threaten me. You just need
I'm
to
not
get
threatening you.
out of the building. You are.
I'm not threatening you.
I'm going to be the next person what?
You're just going to be the next person on TV. Just remember that, and you have your son with you. That's why I asked you if that's your son. It's better. I will delete this.
Yeah, there's a trespasser in my building.
Oh. Listen to your son.
Daddy, go. It's the better. I agree with him, Daddy. It's the better.
At Washington.
Let's go. Please, I don't like this. I don't like this.
He's standing on the lobby.
Daddy, I don't like this. Let's go.
He tailgated through the door as I left. He walked in.
I tailgated to the door.
He appears to be African American.
Appears to be African American.
Dad,
I don't know.
35, software engineer.
Pink polo shirt and a Yankees cap.
All good, all good. Software engineer, brother.
Dad. Yep.
Pink polo shirt, yeah, and tennis shoes, jeans, yeah. You have to be here for when they call him.
He's filming me and refusing to leave and saying I'm going to be the next person on TV.
Yes, sir. You don't remember this? The girl that was like told? He's married. Wow. You know that's illegal now, right?
510 470722.
Yeah, that's illegal to call cops on African Americans.
He said he's waiting for a friend, and I asked him to dial on the call box, and he said he would not. So I have no way to know if his friend is actually here.
Yeah, so I'm here to just rob whatever. A mailbox?
I'm just asking you for your friend's name.
I don't give a fuck. I don't have to tell you shit.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, he can hear me. I'm pretty sure he can.
No, he's not on. As far as I can tell.
let's go.
Listen to your son. Walk away. I will stop this.
Yeah.
I'll stop the recording.
I agree.
Yeah,
let's go, Dad. Let's go now. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. Hi, Kathy.
Told you.
I love you, baby.
Go now.
It took you so long to get here.
Daddy, look what you've gotten us into. Let's go.
My friend is handicapped. Just give me 1 second while you be an asshole to in front of your kid. Okay? Remember, I'm recording you. I'm fucking recording you.
Go ahead, record.
All right, I'm fucking recording.
Hey, don't use that language in front of children.
Oh, well, it was your fault for bringing him out here in the first place. I told you, that's his son.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually here.
Yeah, he's actually here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm recording you.
He refused to identify.
No,
that he was here with a person.
Yeah.
And now he's filming
Look at you.
me.
Look at you. Look at you.
What's
Look at
he
you.
doing?
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Stop filming.
Look at you.
Take
No,
your phone
no,
away
no,
from me.
If you
Take
touch
your
me,
phone away.
I'll fucking
Take your
your
phone.
kid.
Take your phone away. From
Okay.
me.
No, I'm not doing any of that. Now you're going to be. Now you're. Now.
my God,
Now you are online forever. So, all these videos we've been seeing on Facebook is happening to me and my son. What should we name her? Poolside Patty. That's going to be her name. Poolside Patty.
What apartment?
What apartment?
That's all. Who are you friends with? Who's your guest? Who are you?
We're swimming. And she's mad. She's just upset.
Oh, I'm mad.
Look at her. Look at her. Like, we're not even bothering anyone. It's just two people in the pool. Dom, you don't have to speak to her.
Yeah, in a private property pool.
Right. Here, you know what? Let's appease your anger. I'm gonna appease your anger, okay? Hold this. Videotape me opening this gate. I don't know who you are, so I'm not gonna share my friend's name with somebody that I don't know.
Okay.
Here's the key. Here's the key. Here's the key. Here's the key. Do you see me opening the gate? Watch this. Watch this.
Well, then who is it? Who are you from? What apartment? That's all I'm asking. That's all I want to know. How do I not know that those keys were stolen? How do I not know? I don't know. How do I not know? All you have to do is tell me. Look, Facebook people, all he has to tell me is who's the guest. That's all. That's all. I want to know who are you the guest of? That's it, and I'll leave you alone. Who are you the guest of?
I'm sure you have nothing to do today, so just come hang out with us.
Do you
And
guys,
when he comes
do you
down,
know them?
when he comes down, they don't. I don't know anyone. Again. So
Just tell me, and I'll walk away.
why don't you just come have a seat? Because I don't want to argue with you. It's a very nice day, and we helped him move, so he'll be down.
You said you didn't want to hurt me.
I said it's a very nice day.
No, you said something else.
It's on tape, so we can tape it. We can press play if you want.
Scared. I'm so scared.
Scared of what? Nobody's trying to.
Just tell me. What apartment?
Come on, Don. Let me see you swim to the other side. Just ignore it. Hey, remember I told you sometimes in life you just have to ignore ignorance? So just ignore ignorance. Come on, let's go. They're here in the restroom. They'll be down in a while. Just have a seat. Just come in and have a seat. They'll be here eventually. Okay, that's fine. I have no problem with you doing what you want to do. Okay, just come have a seat and chill. Stop being so angry. Stop being so angry. You're not working. You're fussing. Swim. Let's go. Ready?
Why would you don't even ask your people? Don't put it on.
We just told you we bought this right here at the Nike store in Santa Monica right now. We just told you we bought it. What do you need the receipt for?
Because we didn't have our basketball.
What are you talking about? So now you come refund his money and I want an apology. This is fucking ridiculous. And it's profiling. She is an idiot. What does it say on there? What does it say on there?
No, because you.
What does it say on there?
This is stupid. She didn't even ask.
I have no clue what's going on. You guys want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, we purchased this basketball in the store. We purchased this basketball in the store.
I told you I paid for that shit.
Sir, relax.
No, I told her I paid for that, and then she kept my son. My son went out running. No, because you knew better. I told you I paid for that.
Back up, babe.
Man,
You should be sorry.
I told you I paid
You
for that.
should be sorry.
You don't want.
Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Colin Kaepernick has been the face of Nike. Behind the scenes, he may also be pulling strings. According to the Wall Street Journal, the former NFL quarterback was offended by a 4th of July themed shoe, leading the company to recall thousands of the red, white, and blue sneakers, all emblazoned with a 13-star Betsy Ross flag. In a statement, Nike says it pulled the shoe based on concerns that it could unintentionally offend and detract from the nation's patriotic holiday. Kaepernick's agent tells NBC News he will not be commenting. Even before Nike pulled the sneakers, some on social media were angry that the flag appeared to celebrate a time when slavery was accepted, one calling the design Air Slaveries. But now Arizona's governor says incentives being offered to Nike to build a new manufacturing plant in his state may be pulled. American business should be proud of our country's history, he writes, not abandoning it. The iconic company faced withering criticism after it signed a marketing deal with Kaepernick. The former football player was the first in the NFL to kneel during the national anthem. Some burned their shoes, calling Nike unpatriotic. As for Nike's business since partnering with Kaepernick, both sales and stock price went up.
So the number one trend in the world right now is the fact that Nike has compromised and pulled their new shoes for the 4th of July because they have a Betsy Ross American flag on the back of them because of all people. Colin Kaepernick complained as a spokesman. Oh my goodness, I'm offended. Colin Kaepernick, dude, you're offended by everything. And then people want to hail him as a hero. Oh, Colin Kaepernick's a hero. That's like saying Big Bird should be an Avenger. He's not a hero. He's not fighting for the rights of black people. He's causing more trouble for black people than anybody else on the face of the planet. That's a hands-down fact. The guy's the most flaming liberal, leftist, non-American in the world. He should just buy a jumbo jet ticket and fly somewhere else if he hates America so much. Shame on you, Nike. Shame on you for siding with an anti-American fool. Yes, I said it. This is ridiculous.
If you're not one of those fans, a quick catch-up. In The Little Mermaid, Ariel lives under the water but falls in love with a prince who's on land. So she makes a deal with a sea witch named Ursula, giving up her voice. There's something different. In exchange for legs. All in an attempt to win his heart, which eventually she does. Disney released the animated version in 1989.
That was one of the movies that I loved growing up.
That is freelance writer B. Kwame.
I think what Disney has done here is look at the world around them and realize there are a lot more people who want to be seen and represented and kind of served in these different ways. Whether they're frivolous like a children's story or not, it's still important and still makes an impact.
Not all Disney animated princesses are white, but there is only one, Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, who is black. So a black Ariel is big for representation and for Kwame's 5-year-old daughter.
The first thing she said is, she looks like me and she looks like you. There was that immediate connection to what it represented for her.
The movie's director says Bailey, quote, possesses that rare combination of spirit, heart, youth, innocence, and substance, plus a glorious singing voice, all intrinsic qualities necessary to play this iconic role. Bailey called it a dream come true, but on her Twitter announcement, and one by Walt Disney Studios, a whole lot of this today. Accusations that the movie is ruined, reminders that the original Ariel is white, and dismay that a remake is messing with the original character at all.
If they're really that concerned about the authenticity, then they should be looking for a mermaid to play the role, because this is a mythological creature.
But for every detractor, a defender and a champion, including that other famous Halle B, who tweeted, in case you need a reminder, Halle's get it done. And from Naomi Scott, who starred in the Aladdin remake, welcome, baby gal.